let's move on to something else magical.
Yes. Which
Agatha
is
All Along.
it's around the corner.
Yeah, it's coming out next Thursday. I have mixed feelings about this
Yeah, you do.
because it's not something I want or wanted per se. It's not something I asked for. It's not something I think we needed. But it looks like they've done a really good job of getting a cast together and putting a production together that I think is going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I think there was a period of time when we did want this, which was right after WandaVision. Everyone was a bit like, "Oh, this Agatha character has got revealed at the end. Who's this?" Then just a lot's happened in the MCU since then that I feel like the general fandom and population are a bit like, we don't. This isn't part of everything like the main story anymore.
It's been nearly 4 years.
Yeah. I think it has, like, from what we've seen, I'm predicting the idea that they've kind of gone similar idea of WandaVision, of like using how WandaVision used sitcom styles per episode. I think we're gonna get like references to different classic witch films, and it's like gonna clearly be weaved in there and play into that idea of like style of how WandaVision was done. I think it could be good. Potential to be like explore that side of things with Wanda and the witches and that, explain it a bit more to people that don't really understand that side of things.
It's looking incredibly likely that Wiccan's being introduced through the show. We've got an actor just known as the Teen, who's the right kind of age. And in one of the trailers, she goes, "What's your name?" He goes to say his name, and it like the magic close it up, and people are looking at the way his mouth moves underneath, and people are like, "I'm 90% sure he says Bobby Maximoff."
Is this going to be a bit like the Quicksilver thing they did in WandaVision?
Well, I know it's caused a bit of controversy because the actor playing him, I believe, is gay, and Wiccan is gay.
Right.
But Wiccan is not what would be traditionally known as a very camp gay man.
Like
He's a very subdued gay man.
Okay.
Whereas this character seems to be more flamboyantly gay. So people are like, I'm not sure I like that. Because some people view a flamboyant gay as quite stereotypical.
I get you.
So people are like, when he's never been written that way, why would you choose to do that? I don't know enough about the character to have an opinion.
Yeah.
What I will say is I'm excited at the idea of Wiccan when we know Young Avengers are being built up and he's a part of Young Avengers.
Okay. There you go.
That's something that I'm kind of like, that could be quite cool. It would make me ask where Speed is, though.
Right. I mean, my thing, obviously you need to try and get these things across in a trailer, but at the end of the day, it is a trailer. You're basing that off a handful of brief scenes to get an actual feel of how he's portraying that character. You've got to wait for the show.
Absolutely.
But we'll see.
But yeah, there's something about the effort that's gone into the set design, and like the visuals in the trailer makes it look like a really nicely shot show.
I think it's going to be a similar thing that happened with Wanda, where people were going in like unsure because the trailer was very strange, and then everyone was like, "Wait, this is such a cool like way to visually like this." The creativity behind that was so well done. I think we could see the same again. I have a bold prediction that we're going to get an answer to what happened to Wanda in the show.
I would like that very much. I'd like the confirmation that she's alive and plotting something. Or not even plotting, maybe just planning if it's like good plans. But yeah, my expectation for this show is I might not necessarily enjoy the story, but I've got a feeling I'm going to sit there and find it very visually appealing the entire time. I think the performances are going to be really good the entire time.
Yeah.
I genuinely think I'm going to sit here and go, the script was weak. The actors and creatives who made this show happen deserved a better script. That's what I genuinely think I'm going to be sat here talking about.
I think the script will be okay. I think more so it'll kind of be a case of, this was cool. Did we need it in the big story of the MCU? Like, did it
Especially when
really
so
add
many
anything to
shows
what's
are
going
like
on?
not getting greenlit because of budget restrictions.
Yeah, I'm like, you're trying to do this big MCU world. This didn't really fit. It can be great, but if it didn't feel like it was connected into it in any way, it's a bit like.
There is a genuine question to be asked though. Does this give us anything towards a Midnight Suns project being in that kind of mystical realm?
Possibly.
Does it give us something in there? Does it give us a Mephisto and maybe a reference to a Ghost Rider? Does it
Oh yeah, I didn't
give
think of it like
us
that.
a bit of information on some scary magical books that the Midnight Suns might need to track down? Because they've said post Doomsday, whichever one's the last one, Secret War,
Secret
they
War.
want to get into more ground level stuff and more mystical stuff than the X-Men, and kind of break the MCU down into like different styles of storytelling.
Hmm.
And they're trying to set up them different styles before we get there, so that people are like, okay, I just want to watch street level, I just want to watch the big team up film, stuff like that. So do we get more
Maybe.
of
And we
that?
might have
Do we get a setup for like a Werewolf by Night season 2 or
maybe.
episode 2?
And we might actually by Secret War have a Blade film.
We might, if the rumors are to be believed. So yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious to know. We're not the kind of people who sit here and scream about, oh, it's not interconnected enough.
No.
This show, because of the nature of it, does need to lend itself to something bigger to be worth it.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it's not going to do particularly well viewership wise. I'd say MCU TV stuff is at like an all-time low of interest. This show is probably at the bottom of that as well.
Yeah.
It's coming at the right time. We're coming into autumn when the weather's getting like, even this week, last week was still like 20-degree weather. I've not even got my fan on in here now. I'm like a nice temperature. So maybe they can grab enough attention that way. But
yeah, and you never know. It could be sort of like WandaVision where people weren't really interested, and then everyone saw what it actually was, and suddenly it was like, "Oh, this is a cool. I'm going to watch this."
So. I completely agree. But yeah, it's very much an unknown quantity right now.
Yeah.
But that's quite nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to not know what we're going to get.